They live here.
We are back on Morning Line. Thanks for joining us. Allison Fields, veterinarian, is here this morning.
Yep.
Talking as a veterinarian, not about treating humans, but treating animals. That would be the difference. Though, if I were to become very dehydrated right now and need an IV and we had the proper equipment now, she has the skills to administer an IV to me.
That's why you want me on your zombie apocalypse team.
See, you still could do certain things to medically help a human.
Absolutely.
Some of the things overlap.
Correct.
I love
Lots
having
of
you
things
here.
overlapped, but it's not legal. So
I know, but
unless
in an
it was
emergency,
in a dire emergency situation,
just makes me feel comfortable knowing when you're coming on the show. That
because
morning,
here
I'm
in the
in good
middle
hands.
of Nashville, I couldn't, we couldn't get you to a hospital in time.
You never know.
Could roll you on your little rolly chair.
We'd get there in a hurry.
Yeah.
All right, we've got some calls for you, and we've got
Let's
Diane
go.
first.
Good morning.
Hi, Diane. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
Good. What can we do for you?
Okay, and I just want to make this comment, okay?
Yeah.
And this comment is about the new growth here in Nashville. Nashville is booming with a new growth of people.
Preach it.
And I don't know where they come from.
Me either.
But Nashville has a certain way of doing things. And we don't generally walk our dogs without leashes. Leashes on them and stuff. But here's my thing here. I'm sitting right here on my couch right now. I just watched 5 people walk down my sidewalk on their cell phone.
Yeah.
With nothing in their hand except for their cell phone and their dog's leash on their hand.
Okay.
And their dogs stop and poop. And then they keep it moving.
They don't pick it up.
So
They don't even pick it up.
Yeah.
So, preach it, sister. People come into my office all day long and they're like, yeah, we just moved here. I'm like, where from? And they tell me, I'm like, can you go back? Please? Please? My town is not what it used to be.
Well,
anyway,
Diane
but there's a leash law, so everybody needs to be on a leash, but I don't know that there is a law about picking up feces. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. However, it is a public health hazard to not pick it up. You should be picking up your dog's poop. And in our neighborhood, I'm on Nextdoor, the Nextdoor app where it's kind of like Facebook, Craigslist, but only for your immediate neighborhood. And literally once a month, this is a topic on Nextdoor. And somebody's ranting about picking up your dog poop. Now, I've had some people that go outside and yell at people about it. I've had other people on this Nextdoor that say they just walk outside when they see somebody's dog going to the bathroom in their yard and offer them a bag. Did you forget your bag today? Because occasionally, I've been out on a walk with my dog and we took 3 bags, and for whatever reason, she decided to poop 4 times and I'm out of bags. Yeah. So sometimes that can, again, glasses half full, and I'm.
Well, would you pick it up with your bare hand and put it in your pocket?
No, I would not.
Okay, because you draw the line there.
I do draw the line there. I just, no. So, I think that there's 2 ways to approach it. There's, the try to be helpful and offer them a bag, and when they continue to do this and not bring a bag, then you get ugly about it.
Well, and I'm not sure it's fair to blame this on all the newcomers. There are some people who come here from regions of the country where they are very good with animals, especially the Northeast. And you can make the argument that here in the South, especially in some of the rural areas in the South, you mention someone leash laws and they give you a blank stare.
What?
So it's kind of like, it's not so much where you come from, it's just who you are.
Yeah.
And there are people that come here that are bad, and there are people that live here that are bad. I just can't imagine having a dog and walking it and leaving your dog in the neighborhood to poop on Diane's lawn and just walk right off.
Right.
That is just, among other things, very rude. I mean, not very neighborly. Come on.
Well, and I think that, in this day and age, we also, as a society, have taken to just castigating people in public, and maybe we should save our Publix bags and go hang them on our mailbox.
Yeah,
free
something
dog
like that.
poop bags.
Free dog poop bags.
I don't know what the answer is, but she is correct. It is happening. It's annoying. It's gross. Can be a public health hazard. So it needs to be.
I can be there. And can I get a little gross here and just tell you though that
sometimes it's really hard to pick up dog poop.
Well, no, but I was gonna say, when you're walking your dog on a cold morning and it's freezing out and you've got your plastic bag and you pick up that dog poop, it warms up your hands.
It does. It warms up your hands. It does.
I just thought I'd go there.
It's like a free hand warmer. And you could tuck it in your pocket and in the bag, and then you have continued warmth.
If it's a bag, it's not gross. You get it and you throw it away. But that's just the proper civilized thing to do. And Diane is not wrong.
No, she is correct.
Let's go to Cindy.
Thank you, Diane.
Good morning, Cindy. Hi, Cindy.
Hey, what's up, Nick?
Hey, how are you, Cindy?
This is great. Tell her I've always donated for the puppy bowl or the kitty bowl. I can't remember who won this year. I was flicking back and forth between the game, but I watched the puppy bowl all through. I was always for Team Ruff. I don't know. They just seem to have some dogs that I would prefer.
That's a puppy bowl.
But I've seen it. It's been around for like 15 years.
But anyway, I wanted to say, was it Team Ruff or was it Team Fluff? I was hoping. Oh my God! It wasn't Team Fluff.
Okay, we'll see if our crack team behind the scenes can find out who won the puppy bowl. But Rick was just telling me that one of the dogs in the puppy bowl is from Knoxville this past year.
Last year there was one from Nashville.
Oh, is that right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so yet again, a tie-in with the Super Bowl and these dogs.
Yeah, the puppy bowl's been around for a while. It's always a nice alternative when you don't want to.
Yeah, there's plenty of people that did not watch the Super Bowl. The thing is, to even avoid the hype on a day-to-day basis for the last 2 weeks is hard because it's just everywhere. It's insane.
Last week. I went to Kansas, and from Nashville to St. Louis to Kansas City, and then I flew back out of Kansas City. I have never seen so much red in the airport in Kansas City was doing the I mean, like literally that was playing from their overhead speakers because everybody was headed for the Super Bowl. It was crazy. They were so excited.
Oh yeah, especially if you're in a city with one of the teams playing, that's a big deal.
And they hadn't been in 50 years.
Yeah, so good for them. Just for Cindy and others maybe who are wondering, Team Fluff walked away with the Lombardi Trophy.
Lombardi, that's funny.
So Team Fluff won. Okay, let's go next to Ella. Ella, good morning.
Ella.
Hi, Ella.
Hi. Hello.
Hello. What can we do for you?
I was reading about the knee surgery you all do, and I was wondering. They said it's not as intense as the others. So I was, I've been needing knee surgery. For a while, but I'm scared because I'm overweight. I'm way overweight.
Oh, it's for you. I thought she was maybe asking for a dog. Well, listen, Ella, we will have a doctor on to talk about joint replacement, but we're talking with this veterinarian. You don't do human knee replacements,
we don't do human knee surgeries. We do dog knee surgeries.
Well, that's where I thought she was going at first, and that's okay. But Ella, we'll talk about that on another show. But there are joint replacements for dogs, right?
The only joint replacements that we do currently that I'm aware of are hip replacements, and those are typically in large breed dogs because we rely on human parts. They might now be making them specifically for dogs, but so they have to be a pretty decent size. Smaller dogs that might need a hip replacement, we do a different surgery where we actually just remove the head of the femur that fits in that ball and socket joint and leave that with no joint there, and muscles take over, and it's called a femoral head osteotomy. And we can take that out, and the dogs, and usually it's under like 50, 60 pounds, and it's just one side, they'll do great. And in 6 weeks, 8 weeks, you have no idea that they even don't have that bone in there anymore.
Wow.
But the bigger dogs, once you get over 50 pounds or so, really need to have a joint replacement.
And what is it? Does that have anything to do with hip dysplasia, or is that different?
Hip dysplasia or just arthritis.
Where the joints just start getting loose and they have trouble walking. So you can treat hip dysplasia with it. Okay.
I mean,
that's an expensive surgery, I imagine.
Yeah.
But
it's like $10,000 a hip. But when you look at human hip replacements, they're probably about $100,000. But of course, you have insurance that's paying for it and everything else. So it's actually a really good deal.
Yeah.
When you look at the bottom dollars on each. But we also, I just read an article. We're seeing a lot more use of prosthetics in dogs and cats. I saw an article yesterday about a cat in Russia who had frostbite on all 4 of its feet and its ears and its tail. Lost the tips of its ears, lost most of its tail, and they had to amputate all 4 of its feet. And it now has little prosthetics that it runs around and jumps and everything else. So that's really cool. 3D printers have really changed the game because they never made prosthetics, and they're expensive to manufacture, and they have to, do all of this stuff to get approved. And so unless it was a human part that could be tweaked to use in an animal, 3D printers have just changed the world in allowing animals to have a lot of things like that.
I remember we were trying to look into getting a prosthetic for a mashed tater. She was much older, and it was the front paw that was missing, but we got some that we would try, and we ordered some. We even tried to make a few, but she was just so set in her ways that she wouldn't accept it. She was an older dog.
Was she missing her whole leg?
There was just a little stump coming out, and it was difficult.
So they typically can't do it unless it's below the elbow or the knee, and then they just implant a little guy in there.
Yeah, I can see how that would work. We'll take a break on that note. When we come back, we can take more calls. 737-7587. If you'd like to join us, or you can listen in as we have more ground to cover on your pets and animal care right after this. Stay with us.